Hey, all you rock stars, what is really going on? You're indeed on the winning walk with Christina, and as you can see, Christina is out walking the neighborhood. I was walking past the old school and it just hurt my heart. Again, school is out for the summer, but this school is permanently closed. And I just wonder what they're gonna do with this building. But my daughter's childhood memories is all locked in this building, and it's just upsetting to me every time I walk by it. I'm not gonna hear kids playing on the playground. I know, get over it, progress is progress, blah blah blah. But for 20 plus years I got to enjoy that and see kids matriculate and get older and go across the street here to the high school across the street. It's just like the cycle of life has been interrupted for this neighborhood. And I just noticed somewhere in this neighborhood there's going to be a void because no kids are playing, no teachers are teaching, no bells are ringing. It's just kind of I'm just kind of being a little old school, old fogey, just reminiscing. Because back when I was little, and this has nothing to do with where I came on, but I'm just on this tangent, so y'all roll with me, flow with me, let an old woman speak. But when I was in school, when I was in elementary school and stuff like that, the elementary school and the churches were the hubs of the neighborhood. It's where you got to know people and people got to know you. You got to know their children and their family, and they got to know yours, and you bonded. And the children always had an enclosed place to play that was relatively safe from the outside world and all of the foolishness that goes on in it. That was going on, by the way, when I was a kid as well. And I just feel like the neighborhood loses some of its charm, some of its innocence, some of its safety, honestly, as far as the children are concerned, because the children still live in this neighborhood. Not going to surrounding schools, but it just loses some of its appeal when schools close and churches close. It's just sad to me. Fun fact about this elementary school, one of the superintendents or one of the founders of this school, somebody who sat on the board of trustees all the way back in 1964, you know, when the old folks was born, was my pediatrician. That just shows you how old this school is. So I'm mourning the loss of the school, as y'all can see. I'm gonna miss it. But anyway, that is not what I came on here for. What I came on here for is I'm just really thinking. I've been really thinking. Hadn't been posting much lately because there isn't much in 97 plus degree heat. There are some things, and I have a video that's coming out, just a little short one, because I did find some things, and I'm gonna get to the house as quick as I can before I melt, and go out and see if I can find some more things. But this whole idea of dumpster diving is what I want to talk about. And I'm going to preface it with a little short story about, that y'all have probably heard about when I first started diving, or it occurred to me that dumpster diving might be something that I wanted to look into. Now, when I was about 11 or 12, before my mom was able to scrape together the pennies, nickels and dimes it took her to get her first house, which she was extremely proud of, because she was a single woman at that point with 3 kids and money was scarce. She really had no financial help whatsoever, and yeah, I said it. And so her house was everything to her. and she was quite proud of it. Well, before she got that house, we lived in an apartment complex, and in the apartment complex there were children about my age and younger, and they were going in and out of the dumpsters, and they were coming out with all sorts of stuff. And I thought, wow. And my mama noticed the intrigue that set up in my head, and she was like, immediately she batted it down. She was like, don't ever think about jumping in a trash can. That is a trash can, and everybody's nastiness is in that trash can, and it'll be all over you. It's the most disgusting thing ever. And don't ever allow yourself to even consider that. They're jumping in and out of the dumpsters because they don't have anything to eat. They're poor. Well, you're not poor. So she gave me the whole rundown of you're not poor, and there's no need for you to jump in the dumpster, blah, 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 blah. And so that was enough to satisfy for a time, until I saw these same children at school with all of this cool stuff. And I was just like, So one day, unbeknownst to my mom, I defied her. And this was when I was able to actually get in the dumpster. I was probably 11 years old. I got off in that dumpster, and I found a pack. I didn't find much of anything, but what got me hooked was I found a pack of magic markers. The kind of magic markers back in the day that were scented, smelling like grape and lime and cherry and all of these different things. And they were the going thing in our school at the time. Your parents were rich if you had magic. Now imagine this, but this was the 70s, okay? If you had magic marker scented, that was scented to different colors, the different colors and different scents, your parents had money. People that didn't have money didn't have stuff like that. So I was in school, and you know, when you get something new and you're 12, you have to stunt. So I was in school stunting, and my friends was like, you're a lucky duck. Your mom, y'all are rich. Y'all got money. And I just like, yeah, just eating it up. Just eating it up. Nobody knew where they came from, but the word spread all over the school that I had these magic markers and stuff like that. And so the whole school was abuzz about, we know that her parents don't have no money. Where'd she get that from? Her mama don't have no money. Where'd she get that from? So everybody was trying to figure out where I got them from. So I had the school lit for that day, and it was exciting to me. You know, went from a nobody to a whole rock star with scented magic markers. But so I was feeling myself. So I got home, and I decided to stunt at the kitchen table, coloring with these markers. And my mom came by. She was like, what are those? I said, oh, they're magic markers. And she said, where'd you get those from? And it was the way she said, where'd you get those from, that let me know that I was gonna have to suffer a punishment, or I was just gonna have to concoct what I thought was a slickly crafted lie. And at 12 years old, what did you think I did? What you think I did? I went for the lie. I did. I said, these was my friends from school. She let me borrow. And tried to play it off and be cool, but I was never one who could convincingly lie and get away with it, particularly to my ego mama. That just wasn't happening. So she knew immediately that was a whole lie, because at that time my friends were in the same financial situation as my mom, and stuff like that was frivolous. They didn't spend their money on stuff like that, so she knew I had to be lying, and I wouldn't look her in the eye, which is another telltale sign of a lie. So she said, I'm gonna give you one more time to tell me the truth, because that don't sound like the truth to me. Where did you get those markers from? Well, when mama puts it to you that way, when she puts it to you like that, you know the jig's up, and you better go on ahead and break down. Because the punishment for lying, as far as my mama was concerned, was, you know, some of your hide might fall off. Your back end might be irretrievably broken if you lie. She always used to say, Christina, one thing I absolutely hate in the whole wide world, me personally, is a liar. I'll give you the shirt off my back, but if you lie to me, there's going to be severe consequences, because I'm somebody you should never lie to. She used to say that to me all the time. So, and she would say that to me, and then she would discipline me promptly. So I broke down, and I told her they came from the dumpster. And it was like I said, they came from the pits of hell, because she went in. And I think, really, when I think about it now, and I really look at why she went in, it was an affront to her pride. She had her kids, and she took care of us, you know, by the grace of God and with the help of her mom. But she really didn't have any financial assistance whatsoever from our dads. So it was a source. It was to her like saying, it was a slap in the face. It was like saying, you suck as a mom. I mean, your oldest child is digging in the trash can for what she can get. You know, you couldn't afford to get her some markers, you know, and that's how she took it. And she went in on me. And she didn't discipline me in the normal way, because I think she was hurt. I think her pride, more than anything, was extremely hurt. But she told me, she said, that is detestable. But what she did do is she said, I want you to take those markers, and I want you to take them and throw them right back in the trash can you got them from. And I'm walking with you to make sure they're in there. And I think that hurt worse than the normal discipline to me, because there was a sense of pride and prestige that was tied to those markers. I really liked them, and they were really impressive. So I was really upset that I could no longer have them. And so for years and years and years, I never even remotely considered dumpster diving. I began to form the adult opinion from a 12-year-old that dumpster diving really is nasty, and only homeless people and poor people would dive in a dumpster for anything. Until 2020, when everybody was at home and there was nothing to do but go on YouTube and let an algorithm that was fairly new roll some dumpster diving videos your way. And I got to see people from Michigan and Chicago and right here in my city dumpster diving and finding all kinds of stuff. And I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I knew full well that they weren't finding those things. But what really got me is the diver that was in my city and the surrounding cities. That's what clinched it for me. You know, I looked at, you know, the diver in Michigan, the diver in Chicago, Illinois, and there's another diver in Pennsylvania, and I was just like, yeah, that's there, but that is not where I live. That's not realistic. That's got to be staged, because back in 2020 there was a lot of staged videos, and there still are, you know, to get clicks, likes, shares, and all of that stuff. They stage stuff, but and I just knew that was what it was until I saw people in my actual city doing it at the actual places I now go. I was like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. Well, 4 years later, and here we are. Here we are. I'm a dumpster diver, but I'm not a dumpster diver in the sense that I've actually gotten in any of these dumpsters physically, because I don't know physically with my osteoarthritis if I could get out of them. I don't know that I could get out of them. I've never done it, and I'm quite apprehensive about it now, because it's me and my daughter, and that's it. And I know if I got in there and I could not get out, there would be nothing my daughter could do about it. Other than maybe call my husband or somebody to help me out, and by then the jig will be up. And who wants that? It's too much fun to be had diving. But I went all the way around the mulberry bush and through the closed school and down into my childhood and up to 2020 to now to arrive at this conclusion, or arrive at this statement. I want to make this statement on behalf to the people. This statement is to people who don't know about dumpster diving or have heard about dumpster diving or only think that dumpster diving is for homeless people and poor people and people who are ignorant and don't understand the nastiness of it and how detestable it actually is. I'm speaking to these people, but I'm also speaking to people who feel like that as a dumpster diver, I should be ashamed of it. Now, I've had people in my own family that want me to be ashamed of diving because of the stigmas that are attached to it. And one of the aspects of the Winning Walk with Christina is not just winning walks where we discuss, all things theology and Jesus and life lessons, but it started out as a dumpster diving channel. And I got to meet some amazing dumpster divers that would turn your perception, if you're one of those people who just think dumpster diving is disgusting and you should be ashamed and it's stealing, and I've heard everything you could think of. But the dumpster divers that I watched, and some of them I still watch, will turn your perception of diving upside down. And I had hoped with my channel that would dispel some of the myths of dumpster diving, because if that's how you think, I challenge you to watch this channel, because it's absolutely not what you think. Dumpster diving yields, this house and all of the other divers, it yields thousands upon thousands of dollars of usable items, usable food that fills pantries all over the country, saves millions and millions of dollars from the landfill every year. It's not detestable. It's not something to be ashamed of. Where the shame should come in is that retailers and big box giants of major corporations throw this stuff away. That's where the shame should be placed. And one of the focuses of my channel is to place that blame where it belongs without being inflammatory. And I believe that two things can coexist. You can get your point across without being obnoxious and inflammatory. And that's what I want to do. That's another reason why I don't, for security purposes and for the privacy of these companies, I don't show, the storefronts or the department stores per se, particularly I don't show them and go out in great detail for their safety and mine and their privacy and mine. But I can do that without, being inflammatory and expose life. And I want to open the minds of people who actually think like that. There's nothing wrong with dumpster diving. Nothing. As the world grows increasingly more and more dark and more in desperate need, there's a crucial time coming that we all have to be prepared for in every way. And dumpster diving provides things that we as a family can't buy at times. We're not able to. I mean, it is literally what the Lord has said in Isaiah: I will give you the treasures of darkness and hidden riches in secret places. And it is, and that's exactly what it is. That's what it's been for me this whole time. It is my therapy. It is fun. I'm proud to be a dumpster diver. I do not hang my head in shame. And I don't mind when people say, "Oh, she digs in the dumpster and she finds all these things." That doesn't bother me. I'm not ashamed of it. Even though people feel like I should be, I'm not. My house is blessed. My whole neighborhood is blessed by dumpster diving. I just want to broaden some people's mindsets to think differently about dumpster diving. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not afraid of it. I stick my chest out in any setting, and I tell anybody I'm a diver. It's not a big deal to me because of how much the Lord has brought me through diving. You know, no, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. And I just had to get that off my chest, y'all, because I've noticed the trend here lately of different comments that have been made, not in my comment section, but just by certain people, you know, who mean well, but I just want them to know that, yeah, I am you can call me a dumpster diver. I don't care. I mean, like I say, I'm proud of it, and there's nothing to be ashamed. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of. If you were thinking about it, just watch my channel and watch other channels, because again, this you don't know the blessings that await you when you dumpster dive. And with that being said, I'm going dumpster diving right now, and if I find anything, you know, I'm going to post it right on the Winning Walk with Christina, and I'm going to go on my merry way and enjoy the rest of my week, rock stars, and I pray that you do the same.